my name's Kevin Lockwood and I've been invited here today to East Coast Fiberglass to show you just how easy it is to paint with Jotun paints. And what we're going to start to look at the very first is the priming system. As you can see, they come in 750ml in grey, 2.5 litres in grey and the same in white. The beauty of this product, it's so easy to apply. It sands absolutely beautiful and it goes on most substrate, aluminium, wood, fiberglass. Most of the substrates out there it will actually go onto. So what we're going to do, we're going to prepare the panel and then obviously I'm going to get my PPE on and we're going to prime a panel with the Easy Primer. So welcome back. So here we are, we have a nice panel that we're actually going to prime with the Easy Primer today. We're just going to use some wet and dry paper. This is 240 grade. You can get slightly more coarser, but you don't really need it any finer than 240 really. What we're going to do, I'm just going to fold that into a nice little square there. PPE, so you can see I've got the gloves, I've got my coveralls on. I'm going to put a dust mask on for this purpose. Nice fit.
I'm just going to lightly abrade this panel.
What you can actually do, if you had an orbital, you could actually sand it with a nice orbital. It'd be a lot quicker, give you quite a nice coat. But that's the sort of thing that we're going to do, and now we're going to mix the paint up. Right, so we've flattened the panel down with P240. I'm just going to give it a quick clean. It's just spirit wipe, is this? It's nothing aggressive. It's just you can get all the dust marks out with the with spirit wipe. We're going to do 750ml tin. We're going to use the grey because later we'll be actually putting blue on this. So grey's quite a nice neutral colour. The easy thing with this, just open it up, give it a stir, and it's all ready for use. Might take a little bit of stirring on the new tin because it's quite high solids. It will fill scratches. It's very quick drying, so that's the beauty of it, and it's very, very easy to apply and sand. So I'm just going to pour this into a tray. Side. And for for priming purposes, we're going to use a felt roller with a slight pile on it. Just get a little bit more on. If you've got any filling marks, you want to put any extra on, you can just give it an extra coat while you're there, and it's just filled. It's a really good primer, and it won't sag. So if I sort of lift that up for you, it will actually stay in that position, so you can actually build and build with the primer. Generally, it's a two-coat system, so you prime it one day, next day prime again. But that's all dependent how many scratches you've got in your substrate. If your substrate's really fine like this, one coat's fine. So I'm just going to roll that, and then what I'm going to do, just to give it the roller gives it an even coat, and then what we want to do is just get any air bubbles out of the primer. We're just going to use a simple brush, and we're going to what we call tip. So we're just going to tip it off. So we just lightly brush it down like that. That's just tipping the primer off, just getting rid of those air bubbles, and it will lay just a little bit flatter. I'll just complete this panel. Here you can see it's covering in one coat, so we'll be filling any scratches in there. If you've got any filler, anything like that underneath on your substrate, this will fill the scratches in your filler as well. Like I say, it goes over wood, steel, aluminium, obviously GRP, what we're using at the moment. So it's a very adaptable system, and as we keep saying, easy to apply and very easy to sand, which is exactly what we want. And that's it, primed with Jotun EasyGloss. So here we are again. We've got the prime panel that we did earlier. It was touch dry in 2 hours. It's actually hard dry in 8 hours. So recommend to leave it a good 8 hours before flattening it down. But it's very quick drying, and it'll be very easy to sand, as we're going to demonstrate now. I'm going to put the dust mask on for this purpose. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start with the P240 that we've used before, but then I'm just going to go a little bit finer with the 400. So as you can see, we're getting a really nice smooth finish already with the 240. So I'm just going to finish it off with the 400, just a little bit finer, just to get a little bit more smooth. So that's the final preparation on the Easy Primer. It's very easy to flat, and now we're ready for the EasyGloss. So welcome back. Here's the panel. It's all been braided, ready for our EasyGloss top coat. This is what I've used. Obviously, if you had the facility of using a sander, orbital sander, much easier to use. But you can still stick to the same grit, 240, 320 or 400. That's sort of grit you want to be looking for. You'll find it much easier to flat with an orbital, but it does flat okay with the by hand, which we've done today. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get a little clean, white spirit, nothing fancy. So the paint is white. It's an alkyd resin, so it's white spirit based, and we're just going to clean any dust particles off there. You can actually see there's actually, though it looks clean, there's quite a bit of dust on there. It's good practice to wipe on with one rag and then just wipe it off dry with another rag. And if you can keep to smallish areas rather than doing really big areas, you'll find it much more beneficial. Because what you tend to do if you do big areas, if there isn't the dirt in it, you just move it from one area to the other. This way we're putting it on and we're taking it off. As with the primer, it's just open, it's ready to use. There's nothing you want to do to it. It's just open and give it a really good stir with a good stirring stick. We'll put it in the tray and we're ready. This one's called Aries Blue, but there's a multitude of colours that can be mixed by East Coast Fiberglass. You can give us a RAL colour. We also do Jotun swatches. So if you request a Jotun swatch, you can get this in an A4 card, and then you can pick your colour. The formulations colours are on the back, so we can provide you with an A4 sheet of those colours. Or if you've got a RAL chart, you can give us a RAL number and we can mix those up. For this purpose we're using Aries Blue, which is one of Jotun's standard colours. So same as the Easy Primer, the EasyGloss, just open it up, give it a good stir, it's all ready for use. Very simple. So tray again, make sure that's clean. Just give that a pour in there. To one side. And just before we actually apply the EasyGloss, I'm just going to give it a little tack, what we call a tack cloth. Just as any little bits of dust on there while I've been talking, and we can just get any of those bits of dust off it. So we want to keep it as clean as we can for the EasyGloss. You can see it's just brought a little bit of. So we're just going to apply a nice even coat, and then we're going to tip it with this brush. Nice 4-inch brush, 4-inch roller. Keeps it all nice and simple. And so on the first coat, you may not get complete coverage, but we've got 2 coats, so obviously the second coat will cover it. So usually 2-coat system. You can give it more if needed, but usually, generally, 2 coats is actually enough. So we're just going to roll a even coat here. We're not going to do too much. I mean, that's quite enough, is that, for application with the roller. Now we want to start looking at our tipping off technique, as mentioned before, because if you keep on carrying on and carrying on, when you come back to it, the surface will have dried and you can't tip it off correctly. So just bear in mind, just keep to small areas with this. And obviously the hotter the weather, the quicker it will actually start to skin. So you've got to be wary of that. It's a nice warm day today, but that's plenty, is that, for us. So we're just going to tip it, very light tip. And that's flowed lovely as that. So at this stage we're not looking for total coverage, we'll get that on the next one. So I'll do another one of those. And once we've applied all this, and this is actually dried, the drying again is same as the primer, so it'll be touch dry in 2 hours, it'll be hard dry in 8 hours, which is quite good for a single pack paint. So later on today we'll be able to flat this down and we'll be able to put another coat on. So if I just finish this, just trying to get that fairly even. And then I'll just use the tipping brush, and we'll just, well, you see the before and after, the tipped and the non-tipped, it's just get rid of those air bubbles and help that flow a little bit. And with it being quick drying as well, it's non-sagging, so you can put quite a bit on before you get any runs or anything like that, and you know that'll you can put that on, that's not going to go anywhere. Could put a little bit more if I wanted, but just for demonstration purposes, I think you've got the idea. So we're going to let that dry for 8 hours, and then we'll flat that down, and then we're going to give it its final coat of Jotun EasyGloss. Welcome back to East Coast Fiberglass, and as you've seen, we've already done the panel with Easy Primer. We've flattened that down, and just earlier we've painted this with a coat of Jotun EasyGloss in Aries Blue. Now's the time to give it its final coat, so this is what we are going to prep this panel for. So for this instance we're going to use P400. Like I say, if you had an orbital disc, orbital sander, you could actually use an orbital sander much quicker. For this purposes, we're just going to use the P400. We're going to use the PPE, so we're going to put the dust mask on. So all we're doing here is actually just sanding some of the imperfections out of the actual surface. If you're painting outside, you may got a bit of dust in it, a bit of dirt in. We're just basically denibbing the actual surface, ready for the final coat of Jotun EasyGloss. So we've given that a good dry flat. with the P400, but I just want to show you another technique. As obviously this is called wet and dry paper for a reason. You can use it dry or use it wet. Sometimes when your paint's not fully cured, it's actually quite advantageous just to do the wet system. So I'm just going to show you just briefly. And you'll find when you actually flat with the wet systems, there's not a lot of dust, keeps the dust down, and it just makes it a little bit easier just to sand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just wet flat this panel, and then we're ready to give it the top coat of EasyGloss. It is flattening up, that's better. Right, so we've just completed the panel. I was showing you how to dry flat and obviously wet flat. We use the wet and dry P400. We're just going to give it a quick clean, and then we're going to be ready to gear up and give it its last coat of Jotun EasyGloss. So just give it a quick clean. So the technique, as in the first coat, we'll just give it a nice even roller coat, and then we're going to tip with the tipping brush. So, and you find on the second coat the coverage will be much better than you anticipated from the first coat. A nice even coat. What we're going to do now, as before, use our friendly tipping brush, and we're just going to get rid of those air bubbles, and it's just a light run through it. You don't have to be heavy-handed with that. Initially you'll see the brush marks, that's intentional, but they will flow throughout the day once it's starting to dry. Same again, stick to smallish areas, don't try and do really big areas, because the paint will actually be drying on itself when you've actually come to tip it. And the tipping action is the real important one. The roller's getting the paint on even, the tipping brush is getting rid of all the air bubbles and making a nice high gloss finish, and that's the technique. So as you can see, I've just used small areas and then tipped. That's what we need to do. So I'll finish this panel off with this last one. Right, final tip, the tipping brush. And if this were on a vertical surface, you generally tip from bottom to top. You never seem to tip crossways. You always want to go in on a vertical axis. It just makes it flow out much better. So I'm quite happy with that. That's going to give it a really high gloss finish, and we'll see what that looks like later. So we have the finished article. As you can see, it gives a really high gloss, durable coating. And hopefully you agree with me, it's quite easy and simple to use. If you wanted any further information though, you could go onto East Coast Fiberglass website and download the Easy Primer technical data sheet and the EasyGloss technical data sheet. But as I've explained it over the course of this video, it's quite easy to use. Open the tin, make sure you give it a good stir, and apply 2 coats of the top coat, and you can't go far wrong.